Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening somewhere. And we are ticking away here. Let's see if we're up on the screen yet. Let's give that a refresh. This might be doing it. There it goes, maybe. Maybe not. Seems like I'm up and running, but waiting for Dugoscopy Academy. Alright, let's see. 8:30. We got bingo, bingo, bango, bungo. There it is. Okay, there we go. So we should be fine. Let's see how that goes. Check out the sound. Yep, there we are. We're 5 by 5. I like that. All right, so this is Doc. What is up for today? What can we say? One thing for sure is I've been staring at, I stare at the markets all the time. I look at many markets. I look in many directions. But I have to say that the stupid money characteristic is jumping out constantly on the market itself. It just keeps on going up. They tried to knock it down to one of those support areas, and it just choked. It just choked and turned right around again. In other words, who buys things higher? You're supposed to buy low, sell high. Someone's got to teach those people on the New York Fed trading desk that it's buy low, sell high, not buy high and get high and then buy higher. It's like, it doesn't seem to want to stop. It's constantly doing the same thing over and over and over again. It seems to be absurd. Let's show you the absurdity. Looking at the S&P 500, you can see here, this support area there. And then you can see it there, too, yesterday afternoon around 1 and change, after lunch. And you can see it, how it battled when it came off the purple. Can you see? Oh, you're not seeing any of this. Let's try that again. There it is. So you see when it came off the purple yesterday morning, okay, right at the opening. They just automatically, were down there. They were trying to break it down. It was bouncing off of that purple line. I just threw the orange line in there today because now it's starting to become very clear. There was one, but more than that is what really emphasized it is right here. These two, yesterday there and today again, it bounces off of it. So I'm thinking to myself, who does that? Who buys higher and higher and higher? Only the Fed. Check out the pinching on the SPY. Ooh. Oh yeah, you mean on the manifold? Yeah, it's coming down into contraction again. Last time it did that, we got another jack up. Let's see, there's the same. Now, what's interesting is here, that pinching right there, they did find a way to turn it up over. I guess that's only 3 minutes from here because that's a minute before the bell, and that's 2 minutes after the bell. And that's when they're finally done. You know how on the futures pits they go around like an hour later after they had their soda and smoke, to set the closing price. But at the equity markets, they here is the last here's the last minute right in here, and then that's 2 minutes after. Is that 2 minutes after? Where's 2 minutes after? 2 minutes after is right there, and it's all done. They've set the price now of where the settlement is. They do it in the last three, the first minute before the market closes, or the last minute before the market closes in the afternoon, and the last 2 minutes. 2 minutes afterwards. So those 3 minutes they set the price. That's why you see it flatlining there. And so when I saw this here, that was at basically after lunch. 114. Let's see, 13. Let's see, so 13, 14, 1500 is the close. So that was around 2:14 in the afternoon. Then they did it again in the European hours here. They set that same situation where they started to buy it again. That's when I set the orange line. And now when we go back and look, and I didn't really go back and look at it that closely. I didn't look at it at all, actually. And now I see it here. Notice after it came off of that that 54 area it's been bouncing off of for a while now. It ran up to it and stalled out. See how it stalls out there. Even more clarity of the support. Same thing here where it's bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and then takes off. So let's see. Oh, in the daily chart. Okay, let's check that out. On the SPY, let's go to the SPY. Bing, bing, and bing. There it is, like that. There's SPY. Pinching. Where's the manifold at? Where'd our manifold go? Let's give this thing a spin. Where's the manifold? I don't even see the manifold. Oh yeah, I see it now. Okay. Yeah. So right there, the pinch right before. Yeah, I put a line in there. I guess we may have been discussing it about this resistance area or something like that, and that was where the pinch was too. We went into the daily buy back here, right there, on that one, and then that was a nice move back up to all-time highs, and now we're through all-time highs again, and oh, I see what you mean right there. We're starting to pinch again, right there. Yeah, it's starting to get real tight again, and we'll see if it's the flip side of that or they just go. The way it's going, I guess, the more that the Democrat candidate doesn't have much to say and can't, is falling in the polls. So I'd imagine the longer she keeps on doing that. Matter of fact, today she's going to put out another economic policy, and then supposedly Friday she's going to go down to the border and tell everybody how Trump has wrecked the border. So I guess, when you have those type of problems as a candidate, the Fed will just keep on pumping and pumping and pumping. And I guess they're going to keep on pumping until to the election. So we probably have, where is that now? This is the last week of September, so we have basically 5 weeks. They're going to keep on pumping it all the way up for another 5 weeks, I'd imagine. Yeah. So I see that, and yeah, you're right. It's getting tight. Where's the last time? I guess we saw it. Where's the last time we saw a tightening like that? Right in here. When it got very tight and went into a sell, and it tried to drive it down, and the weekly tried to fail with it at the same time. And so we're in a buy now, unless this thing goes into the minus area. Now check out the S&P. Here's the futures contract. And the futures contract doesn't have that enormously tight, I don't think. It's tight, very tight. You can see it here back in July. It's that's something. It's really getting tight there. I guess, that will be, it's going to give us more insight. One thing's for sure is that we're consistently in buys. That's the futures contract. It doesn't seem to want to let go. I think it went into the sell here and it went right back into the buy. Let's steal this buy here, and let's put a sell in there. There we are. So you see here, just this strength is still there. Look at the way the fast algorithm is roaring up. Wonder if that, let's contract this and make it a little bit tighter. Notice that when the fast algorithm runs like that, it can start to build a top. Just like it built a bottom down in here. The extremes. And this one here, it topped out there. Didn't do too good a job. It never even went minus. It broke through the manifold and all like that, but it never really went to minus. It kept on going. So, let's see. When's the last time we saw a big top like that? It's been a while. Let's go over to the the SPY again. But yeah, I see what you're talking about. It's well worth thinking about. That was a good top out right there. It was an extreme. Let's see how high this thing gets on the SPY and in the S&P futures contract. All right. Where was I? I was starting off with the dollar index on the beta. Let me just go back to the beta. There's the. I'm glad you brought that up, Robin. It's well worth looking into. I think they're just going to keep on buying it until this election's over with. They're not going to let this market dip much. Just make it stay at the all-time highs all the way for another 5 weeks is not hard to do. And you can see there on the dollar index. Dollar index is still a lot of weakness in it. Lots of weakness. 13 out of 14 weeks on the beta. I think that's what it is. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. So 12 out of the last 13 weeks on the beta, it's been in a sell. The fast, which I like better on the currency on a weekly basis more, but that's been a full 13 weeks in a sell. And then over on the old platform, I think we have it as, let's go see where it's at on there. Yeah, it's not going back that far to begin with, so I can't tell. But what it comes down to is that the fast is telling us that it's trying to lift up, but it's not doing that good a job. Matter of fact, I was impressed. I guess it was yesterday. Let's go back over there and take a look. Look at the euro. I think it climbed into the daily buy. Yeah, it climbed into the daily buy yesterday. There you are. After climbing into a daily sell for one whole day. What's probably more interesting, let's see if that does it. Let's move this guy over right there. What probably is more interesting is how the weekly is still underneath. Today's Wednesday. They'll probably, I would think, you can see the strength in it. And there's one of those Fibonacci's, which is always neat. Which one is it? That's the 1 point. Let's see, we can move this over a little bit and see what that is. Let's just scrunch it a little bit. What is that? That's the 2-3. So that's the 100, I guess, right there. And so it's climbing up there, and you can see how it supports the Fibonacci at times. Our math jumps ahead and tells you here to be long. It goes up and hits the Fibonacci and lifts right through with that buying. It confirms the strength there. The cable. The cable's been really, really strong. Look at the distance. I mean, it's taken out this high, whereas the euro is still battling with that high right there. Yeah, it's having a hard time getting through there. Whereas the cable, it's basically it's cut through it with no problem. Cut right through it. And you can see here, it's looking very firm. It's not letting go. The dollar, there. I understand there's what do they call those things? BRICs. Let me see if I can find that article. There's a BRIC article out. Oh, you're not seeing what I'm looking at here again. Let me switch over platforms again. There it is right there. Compared to the euro right there. You can see the euro is having a hard time getting through that top. Still flirting with the weekly sell there, whereas on the cable's looking very firm. I mean, they're dipping down a little bit, but nothing major. I mean, it's staying way above the manifold there. I guess you could say, yeah, the histogram has dipped below the manifold. We'll see how long that lasts. See if it starts to build another bottom in there. But there is a BRIC story. When Mexico almost became the lead BRIC, now we have the South African rand as the #1 BRIC in the world. So that's why there's a lot of problems with this BRIC situation. But, I'm up for free markets. So, you know what? If they want to create something. Let's see. Kamala Harris plan to create more housing shortages. Huh? Kamala Harris plan to create more housing shortages. What? Harris' sucker pitch is to start out with small, then add trillions of dollars more when she discovers the free 25,000 down payments were not quite enough to reduce cost. Okay, I guess maybe her policy's coming out. They said it was coming out today. Let's see. Check this out though. This is a BRIC thing, and it's always, we talk currencies here a lot, so it's well worth paying attention to any good BRIC story because we try to understand who is the lead BRIC. I mean, there's no BRIC index. I wanted to start a BRIC index, especially when we had Mexico. Then here we go. Here's the article I was talking about. Let's put that up on the screen so you can see it. Right there. There it is. Right there. Will a BRICS Bretton Woods take place in Kazan? And I'd be cool. Look, if they want to back things with gold and stuff like that, and you can exercise it, that'll last about 3 weeks, and they'll buy it all up. It's so funny when they say, "Oh, we're going to back this with gold." Well, if you can't exercise it, no one's going to care. They want exercise. They're not going to hand you capital, and then you're going to say, "Okay, yes, we're following gold," and that they would bankrupt themselves if they had to follow gold. I mean, none of those currencies are strong. Let's take a look at the currencies. I mean, really. Let's see if they have the list there. Who is members? Here it is. Let's see what this is. Let's see if it shows us the Russian. Come on, show me all the BRIC members. First revealed exclusive Sputnik. See, a platform multilateral settlements, payments, BRICS, digital currency connecting the financial markets of BRICS members, that BRICS bridge, which bears similarities in the Bank of International Settlements. Can't we just have who's in the BRICS? See if we can get a list here. Then we can look at their currencies. I mean, like Brazil is like. You can't even barely get a quote on the Brazilian currency, the real. The ruble, last I looked, I think it was like 90 something to the dollar. South African rand is the number one BRIC in the world, really. I don't think anybody how to handle BRICS members existing overhang of dollar debts. I don't know. That's a good one too. Let's see. Would be great if they would get. Can you imagine they have an organization and they won't even tell you who's the member of them? That's the thing that's really weird out of it all. Let's see. There we go. See if we can get rid of this thing here. So something quite extraordinary happened in the Eastern Economic Forum, Vladivostok. Let's see. So I'm sure it's Russia and China, of course. We know South Africa is a BRIC. Boy, the big letdown was losing Mexico. Mexico would have been like, would have been really, really. That would have been the Mexican peso would have been the euro to the dollar index. The way the euro is to the dollar index, the Mexican peso would have been for the BRIC index. Would have been really good. I figured I put an index together and showed Janos. Maybe Dukascopy would have put it together, but then what happened was, once Mexico left, there was nothing to hold it all up. I mean, the South African rand would be number one. The rupee from India would be number two. And then I don't know if anybody else is out there really. I mean, they would be 60-70% of the index right there. And then Russia and China and I'm not sure who else is in there. I mean, the Brazilian real you can't even get a quote on. So, I mean, that they would be 10 or 15% of it maybe. I can't imagine having a BRIC index and having Russia and China anything more than 4 or 5%. They just don't have the capabilities of being more than that. You know, the South African rand is the strongest of the currencies there, and then after that, then it's the rupee from India. Then it's really gets thin, you know. So, anybody have an opinion about that, or ask why? Why does Doc say those things? You know, I can elaborate if you're interested. But yeah, I was excited just when I saw the headline. I was like, yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, go ahead, give us something to convert and arbitrage. I mean, that's fine with me. That's what markets are all about. Let's see. Should have all it takes to become BRICS IMF. Okay. Yeah. I'm not even sure if we can get a quote on the ruble anymore. It's not the best of shape. Let's see if we can get a quote on the ruble. Last I saw it was like 92, 93 to the dollar. Markets, Forex, cryptos. Let's see. Futures, world indices, treasures, currencies. There we go. Let's see what that shows. There's a ruble right there, 92 and change. Yeah, there's the ruble. And it had fallen down to 84 at one point, back in August. Now it's back up into the 90s. Let's take a look at the last 6 months. They drove it down into 88, 89. 80, no, that's not. That's lower, isn't it? That's 83. So, I mean, that could be 4% of an index. And do they even show... Well, this is Yahoo Finance. There you go. Here's the Chinese currency. But that's fixed to the dollar now. So, it's not really that good a currency to try to trade. You know, it only trades a couple percentage points a day. You see it's come down. Just like it's like watching the dollar index now. It's almost like a dollar index at this point. You know, so in other words, the dollar index has been going down. Let's just show you the dollar index. There's right there. It's been going down like that. And same thing with the ruble. You know, it's been climbing down the same way since August. You know, just kind of marching down. And then there's July. There's the August top we're seeing there. It just drove itself down just like the currency because it's fixed to the dollar now. What else we got? So yeah, that was my excitement for the day. I was like, wow, cool. You know, I love arbitrage and I love exercising type stuff where you can trade against it. So that would be cool if they could do that. I'd be happy. I don't know how long it would survive. Maybe 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that, and then it would probably go bankrupt because everybody would want to arbitrage it and take the gold. It's kind of like the way Hezbollah is in Lebanon. I was reading a story today. It was interesting. They've been telling the population that Israel is a paper tiger. And so, let's see who's calling here. Hello, hello, who's calling? Bakatov, manishma.
You got a minute?
I am on a webinar live, so for another 37 minutes. I'll ring you back.
Okay, bye. No problem. Thank you.
So, you know, and they were saying that the leader, I guess, of Hezbollah is a little frustrated now because he thought that they had built up for 20 years the ability to have more influence over Israel militarily, and they're like devastated that they're not. I would say that the BRIC concept looks the same way. In other words, you know, they've talked about BRICS for, you know, decades. They talk about moving away from the dollar, and I don't have any problem with that. As far as I'm concerned, free markets, free people. You know, let the markets be the deciding factor in the end, not the governments and the sanctions and all the other stuff. Let the market do it all. And so, I could imagine them starting a BRIC with, with backed by gold as they say they're going to do, and you can exercise it. But within a few days, they'll find out that they have to put a limit on how much you can exercise. Then all of a sudden, people are not going to want to deliver. So then all of a sudden, it's like, why did we start this thing if we don't have the capacity to do so? Well, you can see it in Hezbollah, up in Lebanon. They thought for sure that they were doing the right things, getting it all organized, building a powerful military, 10,000, 15,000 missiles, or 100,000 missiles or whatever it is. They thought that they really had it all together, and now they find out that they don't. They're not able to really influence anything more than make a little noise here and there, and they're losing, thousands of leadership people. So let's see what it says here. Genova. Sanctions against Russia have led to an increase in the share of BRICS countries in Russia trade. Ekotrinian Merov, the director of Trade Negotiations Department of Russian. Okay, it's all Rusky stuff. All right, so they're trying to do that, and I think that'd be great if they did. I mean, can you imagine if I had to eat my words? That once I got this thing going, it actually got a footing and it started to become an alternative to dollar delivery. I'd be the first to cheer it on and say, great. I just don't think it'll survive. Because there's no real strong currency there or, a nation that can hold it up at this point, So that's why I was really cheering on Mexico, because Mexico would have been one of the more powerful currencies, is one of the more powerful currencies in the world. They have like 5 or 6 million barrels of oil a day. They're the largest trading partner with the United States. Everybody's building factories there so that they can, enter United States markets, that type of thing. So to me, when Mexico was considering becoming a BRIC, I thought, wow, this is really good. The fact that they did that for over a year and a half, and then in the end decided not to join the BRICS, tells you that they weren't willing to be daddy warbucks. They weren't willing to finance the BRICS. And that's what the problem is that Russia can't do it, because if they could, they'd be there already. And China can't do it, because if they could, they'd be there already. It's like Miss Harris, when she tells you how she's going to fix the economy after 4 years of her voting and passing things that hurt the economy. It's like, well, why do you have to tell us? Why don't you just do it right now? You still have 6 weeks. Get together with the Speaker of the House and pass something and show the America that you can do what you say. See, Trump has a record. That's why they have to call him Hitler and say he's nasty and evil, because he has an actual successful record for the last, his 4 years in the White House. See, they don't. That's the problem. So, I'm a big fan of BRIC, and I can't wait till somebody finally figures out how to open one up. And we almost had an index. And I guess I should get off that soapbox at this point. All right, from there we'll go over and take a look at the Swiss. Let's see what the Swiss are doing. And there's the Swiss. You can see that. It's inside that box, and I don't think it's going to change. I think it's going to vacillate, go sideways, chop, and bounce around. I'd be surprised unless there's some news that comes out. Matter of fact, that's a little surprising. You can see there the green is at 0.00026. It's a plus, and so is the fast one. It's at 149. So they're starting to lift this stuff up a little bit here. A little surprising. It's in the middle of the week. We'll see. And then from there, you can see there's the yen. The yen, there was weird headlines like, oh, the yen's getting crushed. Well, it was at 161, and now it's at 144. I'll take that crushing anytime. To me, that's a win, not a loss. They were making it sound like the yen was getting beat up. It's the opposite. I'm sure all the community in Japan are looking at it and saying, "Woo, really glad it's not at 161 anymore. It was down to 139 and change, and now we're at 144. That's fine with us, as long as it's not back to 161, So that's not bad at all. And you can see here, it's trying to lift up a little bit also. We're seeing that little pressure there. Now this is a dollar yen pairs trade, just like we just looked at the Swiss. Are you able to see? Oh, you're not seeing that. Oh, I'm glad I went over and looked. There it is right there. So there's the Swiss trapped in that box, and I just don't see it changing. I just don't see that changing unless there's some real loud noise coming out. Economically, politically, that type of thing. And then the yen, there's the yen. It's inside its box. It's probably going to stick around like that. Boy, if we only could get the Turkish lira to stay in its box, but unfortunately, it has a problem with that. The box is too damn big. It's like 25% wide. And you can see here, we did close in a daily buy yesterday. Like that. We had a one-day sell, and this is the euro. Imposter syndrome. Harris is suffering from imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome. I like that. Well, that's weird. All right, so there's the Turkish lira against the euro, and it's way above. Yeah, that's pretty much it right there. And so there it is right there. Yep. And you can see it's flirting with the sell. That's started the week off that way. It's getting closer and closer to back to plus. I mean, obviously, if it takes out this line right there, more than likely, we're going to see it move up. And it'll get out of that weekly sell. So that's the next magic. That's what it really is the next magic to it all. All right, and then from there, where do we go from there? Oh, you know what I didn't do is we'll look at the global markets afterwards. Because I always like to look at, I understand China was up again last night from the stimulus, so that's cool. And then here we go. Here's South African Rand. God, it just seems like it's banging against that box. But it just, I don't know. It just, every time I expect it to be through the box and, it's that support line. And I think we have a support line at the 17.5 area, and it won't even touch the poor thing. And you can see here, it's in that weekly sell. And so we should be, when we go over to the gold, right there, it's up again. It's another all-time high. Boy, what's that say about the whole thing? Yeah, and let's do this too. Look at silver. Silver, I'm impressed. At least it's holding around the $32 area. Look at that, huh? How about that? It's only, what's that, 32, 18, and 5, 18, 23. Only $23 off all-time highs, which is $23 versus $32 is about like 41%. So 39%, something like that. So it's like silver is 39% off of its all-time high. Gold is at its all-time high. That's a big difference. You're not talking about like 1%. You're talking about 39%. It's like, wow. They can't get their legs on that one at all, can they? They can't get marching. They can't, boots, get those boots, moving. Scurry with those boots on. Then we have copper, which represents, China's health. I guess it's like a heartbeat. Copper is like a heartbeat to China. You can see it's been popping up nice. It's almost up to 60 now. It was down there almost. It was right at the $4 area. We're week days and buys here. What's it? 10 days now. What's the spreadsheet say? There it is. 11 days in a buy. 2 weeks in a buy. Yeah. Yep. Huh. Alrighty. So now from there, that's copper, and then platinum. Talk about the craziest, weakest, freakiest trade of all. Platinum. You know, at least it's over $1,000 an ounce again. That's cool. Um, you can see here it's a second day in a buy, and it's still hanging out in the weekly, so that's cool. Uh, and at the same time, it's gold's at $2,650. And this thing's trading at under right around 1,000. I mean, look at the differential there. Look, we're really threatening. I mean, today's high is $2,695, basically $2,700. Before you know it, gold will be 3 times more valuable at the exchange than the platinum. But try buying it at a jewelry shop, and they charge you more for platinum. So I don't. Can anybody explain that one? That's crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah. All right. So there's gold, and then there is platinum. It's almost 3 times the difference. That's scary, scary, crazy stuff. Scary, scary, crazy stuff. That's the only way I can describe it. There we are. Save that. There's the gold. Gold there. Try it. Gonna try to take out the 2,700. Cool. There we are. And that's the metals, and that's the South African rand, and that's the way it rolls. And I keep on thinking, that's. It's just way, let's see if we can get a older chart of the South African rand. Let's do that again. Where are we at? So we go like this. Markets, currencies. And here goes the South African rand. Let's take a look at it over the last 10 years. It was up to over 19. Here's 5 years. Back in 20, it was trading in the 13s, and gold was like, I don't know. Gold was in the 20s. Let's see where gold was. Let's see right there. There it is. Gold was at $1,500 an ounce. Huh. All right. So you can see 1,500. I mean, why is South African rand having so much problems? It's obviously the politics down there. That's why it can't move. And then all. I mean, there's gold. Now let's go back to the South African rand. There's South African rand. Let's put 6 months in. There's 6 months. There's 5 years. And now we'll take a look at all. And we're looking at a South African rand before Nelson Mandela. When did Nelson Mandela come in? I guess about 25, 30 years ago. I mean, it was at 5, and they've done an Aragon thing. The ANC is they've tripled the price of it. Let's see when Nelson. I think it was in the 90s. Let's see, when was he president? Let's see, when did he become president? President. Let's see. '94. So he became president in '94. So I guess they're not going to show us much more than that. Too bad. Boy, I'd love to see, like, how that currency went. Oh, here we go. Wait a minute. Became interactive, maybe. Here we go. Well, it could have been around there, I guess. I don't know. We'll find out. But it was around 5 or 6 or something like that to the dollar. And obviously, things have not been as good as it could have been. That's for sure. Let's see. I guess he became president. Went from 10 down to basically 6. And one time before him, it was at 6 and change. And I guess when he took power, they celebrated it, and then it didn't last long. It was at 10 when he took president, and it climbed up to 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, how can it fall to there? Maybe they had to devalue it. Maybe that's what it was. That's probably why. They had to devalue it. I'm thinking that's what happened. I kind of remember something like that. There was some type of devaluation of the currency. So, and you can see now this is since the devaluation, or when they changed it, you can see it's climbed almost up to 20. So the ANC, now that the ANC doesn't have full power, it's starting to dip down a little bit, but it's done it before. You can see these dips in it. So let me show you that right here. Right there it is. So no doubt, just like Turkey, ANC and Mr. Nelson Mandela became president, and the poor product has not been exactly the happiest. Let's put it that way. Now I don't understand why we can't, see some of these policies change. After decades of being wrong, you would think they would change. At least I would. That's where my head's at. So there's the dollar index again. From there, let's take a look at crude oil. Where is crude? There's crude oil right there. You see it's trying to still move down. It's in a sell for a couple days. 2 days for sure right there. Let's give this a respin. They must be waiting for the exchange to open to give us the next feed. Oh, no, that's it. That's today. So this is the second day. What's it say on the spreadsheet? The spreadsheet says 2 days in the sell. Okay, that makes sense. And then I guess this is going from there. Let's take a look at the Brent. BZ, isn't it? I think it's BZ. Or BR. There's BZ. Is that right? Yep, that's Brent. Okay, there it is right there. There it is right there. You can see the pressure on that. 2 days there. It's trying to climb into a weekly buy. I think we're seeing the same thing with the. We were seeing it on the West Texas Intermediate. Let's go back to that again. Right there. Yeah, doing the same thing. It's trying to climb into a buy also, which would not surprise me since rockets red glare all over the place. You would think so, especially in oil country. All right, from there, well, we don't need that. Let's go to this. Let's go to heating oil. And right there, there's heating oil. This feeds the airplanes and everything else, the heating systems. See, it's doing the same thing. It's trying to climb into a buy there on the weekly. You can see it's been in a daily buy for a bunch of days there. You can see that in the last 2 days it's been in a sell, but we got green dots going on. And let's move that over like that. So it went into the buy. Let's give that a spin again. We'll do that again. So that's a minus. There's the plus. That's 6 days back in here. And now we're climbing into a buy. You didn't want to take the long until now. It's starting to get into the buy. But now it's heading into the minus again, so you can't take it. Whereas it was in the sell from there on the 27th of August. There's 28th. There's the 27th. There is the 27th there. It went into the sell there and has stayed in that sell all the way down. And that's heating oil. So that feeds the airplanes and diesel trucks, and that we have a lot of heating systems that use the same fuel. And then from there we go over to, who's left? Oh, natural gas. Let's check out natural gas. There it is right there, natural gas. You see it's been in a buy for 4 days now, and it's been in a weekly buy for 4 weeks. And on the spreadsheet it just shows 3 weeks. See, that's why we really like our beta. Our beta is really giving us some good stuff. We need to fine-tune our dots and we're going to be really good. But as far as I'm concerned, it's a winner chicken dinner, because you can see dailies and weeklies now at will. In other words, you can just get on there and take a look. So there's the natural gas, and then we go over to Europe and we go look at the energy company down in Spain to get a flavor of what they're doing with prices in Europe. And the price of the stock itself reflects the oil, the cost of it. And you can see it's lifting. It's come down from the 27, 25, that's 24, 25 area there. And it fell all the way down to, what is that right there? That's the 1965-70 area. And now it's climbed back up into the 23 area, 22. There's 2208, the type of thing, bouncing around. Of course, it's heading towards the colder temperatures. Austria has had record early snow. We're hearing, snow and so forth has been pretty aggressive in lots of ways. Let's see. Yeah. There we go. Someone's sending me a physics thing. Stat. But quantum mechanics now we're getting into. 1 second, I just have to finish this text. Stat. There we go. So that is the energy company down there. And we have to try to find that one that Janos had, the name of that one that Dukascopy has. It was an interesting company. We'll have to hunt around for that, see if we can get some more energy companies that are much more insightful. Whack. Not wake. Wake. Whack. Ack. Whack. There. Alright, make that better. There we go. What else do we got going on here? It's time. What time is it? Okay, yeah, we're fine. We got about 4 minutes left. Let's go over to some of the world indices. That could be fun. I think it is. Let's see what some of the world indices are doing. So we go to. Gotta get rid of that. And I'll show you. Here's China. I mean, we can see it in the, the way it's been jumping and it's happy and. Right there it goes. You can see it's up another day. Well, it's up another day. And we've been 5 days in a buy there, so that's cool. So they were definitely front running it. The leadership knew to buy it first before they let everybody else have some fun. Then we go over to, let's take a look at Tokyo. 225. Where are you? 225. Hello, 225 right there. Now that it didn't do, it was up because of China yesterday, but today it's pretty much unchanged. It is showing a little strength there on the weekly, so be careful, traders. Don't try to short it too fast. And then from there we go over to the Kospi, and we'll take a look at also the Taiwanese. See what they're up to. Where is it at? It's around here somewhere. There it is right there. There's the Kospi in South Korea. There we go. You see, they popped it on the 24th and they sold it down today. So they're pushing it into the sell again. Flirting with the buy from that strength. I mean, we've been in a daily buy. It was off and on for, was that 3 out of 6? I guess it's like 4 out of 8. So out of 8 days, 4 of them have been in buys, and it's been trying to climb up, but it bottomed in here somewhere, and matching it up, when you match it up, moving this over like so. There you go. All that weakness right there, and then it dug its heels in, put into a buy, then a sell, back into a buy again, but a lot of green dots, and it ran up. That's why, I'm happy with the way the platform is now, because the dots can be more insightful at times than I even respect. And then from there, we'll take a look at Taiwan right there, the chip universe. Here comes the chips. Here come the chips. Here come the chips. Lots of buy signal there. Move it over like so. And you see here, that went into the weekly buy last week. So who knows? The people on the island might have known even faster that the Chinese were getting ready to. Remember, they're real capitalists on the island, so they may have good contacts inside the communist structure, And so that is something to really take serious, And so that's where we stand. That's where we stand. All right, traders. This is Doc. We will catch you all tomorrow. Same time, same channel. We got to come up with some type of title. But I'm pretty comfortable, At least we've got a way of sending it out now. I like that. I'm glad we're back to what's up. All right. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Catch you on the flip side. And we will see you tomorrow on Thursday, which will be only 2 days away from the end of the week, which is cool with me. So, there we are. There, the title. And Doc saying over and out.